Well, I come from Pakistan. It's a long journey, more than 10 hours flight time, and about 3 hours bus time to reach here in Cambridge to just attend this face-to-face session. And trust me, it's worth it.
There's so much more to assessment than I think you realise. My background originally was teaching, so I was used to looking at assessments and going, why did they choose that sort of question, and why didn't they change this to an open-ended question? Why is it multiple choice? And coming on this course, I've actually learned why that happens. Something that was really big for me was learning about multiple choice questions. As a teacher, I was very much against them, not going to lie. I always thought, a student can guess the answer. But actually a good multiple choice question is very challenging. Challenging to write, challenging to answer, but it's more accurate to mark because there's only one answer. So I've learned more about the validity of tests, the reliability of tests, and in general why they're structured the way they are.
You hear the word validity, you hear the word reliability, but to spend a whole day on each of these topics, it shows you how deep and wide, each of these points are.
It's just so interesting listening to other people in other walks of life, but we somehow all come together when it comes to sort of assessment and education. I find that really interesting. It's quite a philosophical subject, so you can get deep quite quickly talking about it. There's a lot of stuff about ethics and what's right and what's wrong, and this kind of creates an examiner's bond. It's kind of interesting, really. They're going to conflate like and trust as one thing, aren't they?
Yes.
The supervisors have been amazing, and they're always on hand, so I can drop them an email and I get a response straight away, and you can ask them anything. That's been a massive part of the course. I've never come across a course where I've had so much support.
They get to meet fantastic experts who speak to them and tell them about what's cutting edge information in their field. So generally the day schools are really meaningful to the course for students and complements their online learning.
My supervisor, I think she's a gem. she's like a really supportive. I send an email and to ask a question, and she's been so supportive, recommending texts. That's totally transformed even my essay writing skills. So they give a lot of pointers and ask you the right questions to make you go back and think. So for that, I really appreciate that. I wouldn't have thought that I'd be able to do so well on things like essays and research and all that, but the amount of support makes you know that you can achieve much more than you actually thought you could, yeah.
The people we do trust are people we've had personal relationships with.
The course has given me a real insight into certain key concepts. I represent the Scottish regulator, and at the moment we are looking to introduce or revise our own criteria. That might lead us to introduce some of the concepts that I've been learning about here, and to ask if the awarding bodies throughout the UK that we regulate could meet those concepts, with particular reference to things like validity and reliability again, and if we introduce those as concepts within our regulatory requirements, can we expect awarding bodies to be able to demonstrate or show that they have validity and reliability within their assessment?
It's making me to be more observant and to take more interest in every kind of exam and test and assessment that I find nowadays. I'm checking to see, trying to analyze in my head, how valid is this, how reliable is this, how fair is it,
And coming here, you meet people from the qualification boards, the assessment boards, people from so many different backgrounds in assessment, and you learn so much from them as well. And just having the opportunity to spend these days with them and learn from them is incredible.